I'd like to call the meeting to order. All board members are present. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
We're going to start with a special presentation. Brad?
Well, thank you, everybody. It's with great pleasure and also with great sadness that I'm introducing tonight's Taylor Ledwine. She's obviously been an outstanding golfer for our golf program, and unfortunately, she's a senior, so that's the bad thing. Looking at Taylor's accomplishments, it's unbelievable. She is, since she's in 7th grade, she's been all conference 5 times, honorable mention 1 time. She's been part of 3 section championship teams, 1 state championship team, and she's also obviously been a 2-time Class 3A, which is the largest class in the state of Minnesota, 2-time Class 3A state champion. And New Prague, we're very lucky. The last 4 years, we've had a New Prague girls golfer win that 3A title. So with Kenzie Neisen being twice and now Taylor Ledwine twice as well. So, and most recently, she just won the 2016 Minnesota Junior Girls Golf State Championship as well. So she is heading to Bradley University in the fall. I think she said August 18th you take off. So I know she's going to be very successful at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois as well. So wish Taylor, first congratulations on all your accomplishments and wish you the best of luck in the future. So Taylor Ledwine.
Thank you for having me today. I just want to say that first of all.
We want to thank you for all you've done for our school and for advancing the girls' golf. I saw pictures of you with some little girl golfers, I think, over at the golf course that you...
Yeah, we had like a girls' fun night last night. It was for kindergarten through 8th grade, and it was for people who, like, either if you've played golf or haven't played golf, just to kind of pique their interest in it, to get some of them started, and then hopefully they keep going through it, and then hopefully they play in high school.
Did you guys have drive contests so they could watch?
We each hit 1 drive, and then they hit drivers later in the night.
Why don't you talk, Taylor, about this, the state title that you won, what that day was like, and.
It was kind of like last year where the individuals went off first, and then the team went off second, and everyone that the one girl I was tied with, and then 2 people who were 1 stroke behind me were all on the teams. And then another girl who was 1 stroke behind me, I played with her. And so when I finished, I obviously knew how she was doing because we had played together. And then I had to wait like an hour and a half to see how everyone else had finished. And so it's just kind of like anxiety kicks in because you're trying to figure out how the other people are doing from people who are watching, but then they're not always sure if they have the right score. So it's just kind of a lot of anxiety waiting to see. And then I did have a 5-putt on my 14th hole, so I knew that I needed to get a couple strokes back if I wanted to really know for sure that I won. And then after my 5-putt, I played my next 4 holes 1 under, so I kind of hoped that was going to be enough to win.
And you were only, for the 2-day total, you were 1 over or 2 over? 1 over.
Yeah, 1 over.
1 over which is amazing. And she won by 6 strokes?
No,
Was it?
I was 1 under for the total.
Oh, okay.
And then, I won by 6.
1 by 6 strokes. So, and then, like Mr. Scoville was mentioned, the junior golf title she won this past week, that's got all the top girl in all classes, basically, right?
Yep.
And Kate Smith from Minnewaska, who's, how many times has she won the state title for 2A?
5.
5 times. She's going to Nebraska. And Taylor won the whole thing, obviously, over Kate Smith and other very good golfers, too. So that was quite the achievement.
Did you look at any other colleges?
Yep, I visited North Dakota State University and the University of South Dakota.
Are you getting any more tournaments this summer, or is that junior, the last one, pretty well?
I have
Yeah.
one more, and
more.
it's the end of July, and it's in Monticello. It's just the
Okay.
Minnesota match play.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm done until college season.
Can you still play tournaments in the summer during college?
Yep, I can come home and play. I just can't play in anything junior because I'll be too old.
Anything else? All right. Well, Taylor, why don't you come around the inside here, and would like to congratulate you, shake your hand, and give you another token of our appreciation.
Something new.
Something new for it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Taylor, I was just going to ask you, is Olympics on your radar anytime soon?
I wish.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're doing the other
One at the
one
end.
at the end, okay.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any additions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Consent agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Sorry. Any comments, Don?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Committee reports. Did anyone have a committee meeting this past month? Don?
Last, I believe the 7th was on Thursday. We had a community ed meeting, and first item was that on July 23rd, there will be a twins clinic at Elko Ballpark, and it's going to be split for girls and for boys separately, so there will be some former twins there, and the coaches they've hired, of course. The fall brochure will go out on April 1st, and
August 1st.
August 1st,
August
right?
1st, Don.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
August 1st. And on September 29th, everybody's reminded that the former Teacher of the Year is speaking at, I believe, the high school. Her name is Katie Smith. She's from Winona, an excellent speaker. And it's supposed to be the Parents' Night. I'm not sure if she's going to be here during the day that day for other things. The preschool has 320 spots available, and there's only 3 left at Eagle View. So Kids Company is filling up very fast. RAP is going to be capped at 60, and they're almost there. Behind the wheel and classroom, driver's training has probably been the most of all time. There's 4,200 people registered thus far for summer activities. And the most popular, of course, are swimming, Starstruck, childhood or child care and babysitting, safety, boys basketball, and Lego engineering. And the joint power is tentatively scheduled for the first meeting at the end of July. That's about it.
Don, did Janelle say anything about outdoor swimming, how the participation has been?
Well, she did say it was the most popular class.
Yeah, I thought, talking to her, I think it's up a little bit too. It's been,
Yes,
yeah, if I remember.
a lot of the kids' ones are up, driver's training and baseball and so on.
Good.
Thank you. Next, superintendent reports.
Yeah, I just want to give you an update on some things here. First of all, with the construction update, at the CAC, where we're at here tonight, as you can see, the front entrance there, they've got the foundation set now. I think tomorrow is the day where they'll put the 3 boilers in, 3 sets of boilers along with the water heater and a few other things there. So it's pretty soon they'll have the, be covered and start looking like an entrance. So they're making progress. It's been a lot of work. They've been really working hard on that. There's been asbestos removal going on right now throughout the building. And then on the north side of the CEC where the pool's going right now, as you can, if you drove by there, you can see they're starting to dig dirt and putting the footings in and doing a lot of soil testing this week. And then they'll start laying brick here pretty soon here. So it's going quick here at the CEC also. Middle school, like it was reported by the New Prague Times, there's a little article, and Craig Most, our Buildings Grounds Director, was in there. Right now we're, believe it or not, ahead of schedule. I know everyone's wondering how in the world is it going to be ready in time, but they're still very confident we'll be able to get started on time with the middle school. They got about half of the terrazzo floor in, the foundation for that. The art room, which got expanded, the walls are being put up right now, and the interior of the band practice room walls are also up. And so they're making progress there also, and hopefully we continue to get good weather so they can stay on time or even stay a little ahead of time. So if anyone has any questions.
I think one thing, and it was kind of mentioned in the article in the paper, is that they're doing the inside in shifts. So they're doing the flooring in the locker area this summer, and next summer they'll be working on the area where the cafeteria is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all going to be done after the summer because they
Yeah.
have to have it ready for school in between.
Yep, absolutely. So it's been, it's part of the phase plan, and, that's what we want, everything to be done by the fall of 2017.
And they're still on schedule to get the 6th grade over there probably during break, or is that?
Well, I still think we should, plan for the work. I mean, it's supposed to be mid-February, and I think we just got to keep that in mind, mid-February. And if it comes any earlier, and if they get done by the break, I know it said that in the paper, and that's what Craig's very optimistic about. But if you've ever built a home or been through construction before with schools, it's never exactly where it seems to. You hope it's going to be. So, we're hopeful, but mid-February is when it's supposed to be done. Don?
I've had a couple people ask me if we have enough janitors to bring the middle school up to all the janitors are supposed to work on their building until August 8th
Yeah.
or something like that. And then
Are you volunteering?
I'll volunteer.
I've talked to Craig Most about it, and it is a concern, but we're just going to have to prioritize our work, and when we bring everyone together there, obviously we got to make sure school starts on time. There might be a few projects in each of the buildings that we'll have to get to after we get the middle school going, so it's not going to be an ideal situation for us, but again, we have to prioritize the work, and it's not a normal year, but we can get things done. Anything else? Construction? I left for a week, came back on this weekend, and it was amazing to see the progress. It's neat if you're not here all the time to see the changes taking place. So, couple other things. We've got still some hiring going on. High school, we have a physics position that we'll be interviewing shortly here, and also a dean of students to replace Tom Wechka, who is promoted to assistant principal. Obviously, Eric Garnis, our assistant principal, got a principal job in Bondurant for our Iowa, and he began duties there this week. So that's going at the high school. Middle school, we had a math position open up, and so we'll be interviewing this week there. And then elementary is also interviewing teachers. We've got a couple teachers that went on leave of absence, and then a couple other openings that we had. So they'll be busy. A lot of interviews starting. Actually, we had some in the high school today, but at all 3 levels hiring. So those will be, again, at our August 8th meeting, that's why we'll need to do, before the work session, a business part there to approve that and a few other things going on.
Do you anticipate all the positions being filled by then?
We're hopeful, yes. Well, the positions we know of right now, yes. Physics position is going to be difficult, but we do have what we feel is a real strong candidate right now, so we got to work that out.
With the recent storms, has there been any damage done to the schools?
Thanks for bringing that up, Don. We did have damage, not at any of our construction sites, but at Raven Stream. The air handler got basically hit and went across the roof, so we've got some damage there. And we're getting estimates on that right now, Sandy, on what insurance is going to be able to cover it, but it's not a whole new roof, but part of the roof is going to need to be patched up or replaced. So that was the only damage. Yeah, when I was out of town, I got the call from Craig, but you know, that's why you have insurance, I guess, and it's not a major thing. Okay, moving on here. Another update. We've got our business office is very busy right now. In July here is a very, very busy month, and Sandy can talk about that. Getting ready for the audit, and they will be here. The auditors will be here the second week in August, so it takes a lot of number crunching right now to get ready for that. A lot of work right now, so this is like the busiest time for them. Also, I should mention, I think it was mentioned at the meeting, I wasn't here on June 28th, but just let everyone know, our viewers at home, is that our school board meeting site, this will be our last meeting until probably January at the CEC. We're going to be going over to Falcon Ridge Elementary, and so that's where our meetings will be held. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that. The other thing is we're looking into is converting the site of our tennis courts, possibly. We're in the initial exploring that, hiring an appraiser, working with the state. The current site that we have right now, when that was built, the baseball...
At the middle school?
At the middle school, the baseball field and the tennis courts there was designated recreational, and we had an agreement. We had received a grant way back, I think it was the early 1970s, with the DNR, and used that grant to build those fields at that time. And when you do that, that designated space, it's pretty difficult to move that. But if we want to be able to do the bus garage and be able to really expand it and do a first-rate job on that, it'd be best to move the tennis courts. So we're taking a look at doing a land swap between the old outdoor hockey rink area that's just west of the CEC fields, and it's the tennis court area, and that are the exact same size. So we got to go through an appraisal process. The city has helped us, working together with us in this deal, so we appreciate their help, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you abreast of that, and I think at the August 8th meeting, there'll be more to talk about at that time. But right now, we got to be able to see that the land value on each of those sites is comparable. So that's what we're using them for right now at the beginning. And then I guess that's about it, all we have right now. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You bet.
Next, move on to our action and discussion items. Ties resolution. Sandy.
Yeah, you have a resolution in front of you tonight, and I'll explain a little bit about that. Right now, we are, well, at the time we started using Cognos, which is our test data warehouse, back in 2010, we decided as a board and as a district to become members of the TIES district. And as such, we have an annual payment of approximately $15,000 per year that we pay to be members. We pay that over and above what we pay them for our Cognos product. Along with the $15,000, our district would get unlimited professional development offered by TIES, which is normally a really good deal, I think, especially if you are located closer to the TIES facility. Right now, we don't take advantage of a lot of professional development with TIES because of the distance. We also did invite them down to do some staff development for us. They are willing to do that, but it didn't go as well as what we'd hoped, and so that professional development relationship really isn't there. So I explored with them the possibility of not being a member anymore. And I started these conversations with them in March. Much to my surprise, they came back to us and said we could leave after giving a year's notice, but we would owe them over $300,000 if we left, because that would be our share of the long-term liability that they carry as a district, mainly related to the pension, unfunded pension liability, but also related to their capital leases for their other data equipment that they have at their TIES facility in St. Paul. So we're very surprised about that. So Tim and I had their executive director as well as their CFO down, and we met with them a few weeks ago and talked with them about this, and just expressed our concern that, you know, if as a district we were to leave, we would owe this money. They are looking at potentially making some changes to their bylaws. It's a very difficult process at TIES to make changes to their bylaws because of the governance structure they have set up. But Tim and I decided after our meeting and in talking with their executive director and CFO that we would pass a resolution to give notice of our possible intent to leave. We don't have to leave, and obviously if we owe them $300,000, we're not going to leave. But if they were to change their bylaws and we wouldn't owe that anymore, it's a way to save $15,000 a year as a district when we really don't use their services. And so we'd like to pass this resolution tonight just in anticipation of them changing their bylaws where we could potentially leave membership, or they call us owners actually. They called us owners in the meeting. We're a part owner of the TIES district. And so just kind of some preventative medicine, so to speak, to potentially leave, and we could save our district $15,000.
You want to mention when we made this agreement with?
Yeah, it was 6 years ago in April when we started using the Cognos product. It was April of 2010 when we joined.
And we signed on to take up $300,000 in debt?
I don't think that was, I wasn't here at that time, so that was several months before I started. I'm assuming that the board and perhaps the district was not aware of this potential issue, or we probably wouldn't have become members. It wasn't necessary for us to become members if we were a Cognos user. We do get a small price break on Cognos, but not enough to justify the $15,000 membership fee. So I don't know the conversation that took place because I was not here.
How many schools are involved with this? Quite a lot.
Yeah,
There are a lot.
I would say
get
40
those
or
mailings.
50 schools.
40, right around
Okay.
40. But
Right, and a lot of members have been asking about leaving with all the issues that they've had recently. Also, their products really aren't up to speed as to where their competitors are. I know the Cognos product, I think it was really state-of-the-art at one time, but right now we are looking at even a different product versus Cognos because the competition has kind of surpassed their Cognos product. And so we're even looking about getting out of that Cognos product, but we have to stay a member or we would owe this huge amount of money.
Have you had the lawyer review whatever we signed that says
You
we
know,
owe that?
Tim and I talked about that. You know, we certainly could try to do that. I think we're going to wait and see what happens with their bylaws in November, December timeframe. Nowhere in any of the documents that I have could I see reference to this long-term liability obligation that we have or that we were owners. Everything says members. So it's possible, but we have to give a year's notice anyway. So we're going to do this now and then see where it takes us.
You mentioned other schools were looking at maybe pulling out too. I imagine you can have conversation with them too as to.
Yeah, I guess a
it's gonna
couple of
cost.
districts have given notice, but have not left because of this issue. So like I said, this is a first step in a process and we'll see where we can go. But, you know, the unfunded pension liability, of which our obligation is $25 million as a district. We don't ever expect to have to pay that, but it is in our government-wide financial statements because the TERA and PERA, they do have unfunded pension liabilities, and that's, you know, designated to school districts. based on their participation in TRA and PERA. So TIES has a part of that. So that's the biggest chunk of it. The capital leases are a much smaller chunk. It's still several $1,000,000 that they own, that they owe on capital leases. But the amount of money to leave the district would be a lot less if they weren't including the unfunded pension liabilities, but they are including that.
Have they had bylaw updates recently since we've been members?
Not
6 years ago?
recently that I'm aware of.
Okay. Have they had ownership changes, administration changes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Which, is that partly due to any of this?
Yes, as you recall, if you've read in the paper over the past couple of years, they have a new executive director. Their other director left a couple of years ago, and there were very serious concerns about how they were being managed financially. Very serious concerns. Their CFO was there 1 year with the old executive director, but she is definitely on board to try to clean things up. We've had difficult times getting information from TIES about the services we provide and what we pay and why we pay it. They're trying to clean it up, but it's been a very difficult, laborious process.
Has anybody from here been down to meetings? Or we used to get summaries from them at times.
I went to a couple board meetings 3 or 4 years ago.
We had a handful.
Still get summaries then from them?
I do.
Okay. Because
We've had a few teachers, I mean.
Yeah, and I'll be going to their annual meeting in November, December, I forget when it is, because that's when they're going to be discussing any potential bylaw changes. So we'll see where this goes.
And maybe, I think I'm technically the rep, so I should maybe go with you.
Okay.
If we,
Okay, yeah. So just asking again, just as a preventative case to approve this resolution tonight. I'll give them formal notice then by the July 31st deadline.
Any other questions before we read the resolution?
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to consider the resolution to approve let's see, got the wrong one here first. To consider the TIES membership withdrawal resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the TIES membership withdrawal resolution. Whereas the New Prague Area Schools is currently a member of TIES, whereas the New Prague Area Schools would like to give notice of possible intent to leave for the 2017-2018 school year by the due date in TIES by laws of July 31st, 2016. Now therefore be it resolved by the New Prague Area School Board of Education that the New Prague Area Schools is giving notice to TIES that the New Prague Area Schools may wish to withdraw its membership effective for the 2017-2018 school year. How do you vote on this, Don?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Kitten?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Dennis? Yes. Item passes.
Thank you. We'll keep you appraised of that situation.
Great. Next, we have the long-term facilities maintenance plan.
At this, is there a comment on this?
I have a presentation on it, and then is that okay if we do the resolution afterwards? Okay. Okay, long-term facilities maintenance revenue, as it's being called now, the LTFM revenue. It already has its own acronym, which is another acronym to know. If you recall, this was phased in starting in fiscal year 16-17, and the 2016 levy that we are currently collecting was the first year of this levy. It replaces the health and safety levy and the deferred maintenance levy and aid. Overall, the revenue that we're going to receive under this new law is higher than past revenues. And the new levy is equalized at a higher level than the previous levies, which means more revenue for less local taxpayer input, which is very good news for our local taxpayers. I just want to make a note that the revenue in 16-17, which we're collecting right now, will be adjusted down in the levy that we're going to be levying in December due to the new facilities, as it's partially based on the average building age. So by the time we collect this levy in 2016, its revenue for 16-17, next year our average facility age is going to be going down because of our new construction. So we will have an adjustment on this year's levy as a result of that, just to give you a heads up on that. This is a chart that is showing you comparing 14-15 and 15-16 to going forward. You can see our total revenue this year we expect to be, a little less than $450,000. In 16-17, which is a levy we're collecting right now, we expect that to go to over $600,000. And then in 17-18, which is the levy we'll be levying in December, we expect it to be almost $1 million. And it even goes up more from there because it's being phased in. And you can see, even though the total revenue goes up, the aid is going up faster than the levy. So that is good news for our taxpayers. The statute requires that I provide information to the board, and you pass a 10-year deferred maintenance plan or facilities maintenance plan that includes deferred maintenance as well as health and safety, and for us to get the revenue. Now, the 16-17 plan you actually approved last year, but we've made adjustments to it, so I just want to share these adjustments. We can make adjustments as the years go on, so this is not a problem, but I just want to let you know what we're going to be using the revenue for this year right now, 16-17. $100,000 is going to be for caulking of windows. These are not the windows we're replacing, they're the other windows that we need to caulk. $25,000 for the stage rigging system at the high school, $44,000 for floor and paint cycle. The roof replacement on the ECFE building is $25,000. We have parking lot sidewalk repair and playground of almost $120,000. $60,000 for resurfacing the high school tennis courts. $50,000 for the high school auditorium curtains, which is basically a health and safety project. And then we have our normal health and safety items such as professional or protective equipment, asbestos, fire, monitoring, and so forth. So this is what the plan is for the revenue we'll receive for 16-17. Looking forward to 17-18. Tried to summarize it. All of these, the detail is all attached in board docs. The MDE requires that we give enough detail to you so you know exactly what you're approving, but I'm just trying to summarize it in this presentation. We've got money set aside for the building envelopes, such as windows and doors, building hardware and equipment, electrical work, floor, paint cycle, and ceilings. That's something that we do every year. At the high school, we're having to start to have larger sections of carpet to replace, so that is going to continue to increase. $70,000 for mechanical systems. We have one special project next year is to tie the control system at the high school in with all the other boilers that we're putting in the district. We have plumbing. We have some plumbing at the high school in the locker room, I believe, that needs to be looked at. We have money put in for professional services for various things. Our annual expenditure plan does not have to equal the annual revenue because you can save up for future projects, if that makes sense. Okay, so next year we will have some money we'll be able to put towards a future roof replacement at the high school. So our roof is due to replace there in 22-23, I believe, and that is a huge project. Now we could issue bonds that year and pay for it, with bonds, or we can save up for it. And so next year, we'll be able to start saving up for that roof so we won't have to issue bonds and save money in interest costs. We have about $200,000 for site surfaces, $50,000 for anticipated asbestos abatement at Falcon Ridge. Once we start getting in there and doing some work next summer, we're anticipating some asbestos abatement, unplanned asbestos abatement. And then we have, again, our normal health and safety items. For 18-19, you can see the detail there. There's really nothing too different. Again, I have the future roof replacement. We can put some more money away for that. And, we're just trying to plan year by year. The MDE says we need to pay most attention to the first 2 years of the plan or 3 years of the plan. After that, it gets pretty fuzzy because it's hard to say what is going to be needed. So I'm just focusing on 16-17, 17-18, and 18-19. Beyond 18-19, we have, annual allocation for items that we always have, and we will need to discuss as a board if we under levy or save up for future things like turf replacement. You can use this for turf replacement and future roofs. You have to understand, though, that if we don't levy everything, our aid is also reduced because it is an equalized levy. So this next year for the levy that we have, it's pretty straightforward. We have a use for all the money, and we can start putting aside for the high school roof project that's coming up. And then in future years, we're going to have to talk about, if we want to save up for turf replacement or if we want to under levy. We're in a unique position where we passed the the bond last year and took care of a lot of our long-term maintenance needs. And so we don't, had we not passed that bond, this would be, we'd be looking at a much different picture. So in order to levy and have a long-term facility maintenance plan, we need a board-approved 10-year plan, and it's due to MDE by July 31st. I have detailed materials attached to the agenda item and board docs, and now you can ask questions, or Denny can read the resolution that we need.
I'd just like to make a statement. I think this is such a good idea to have a 10-year plan, because all these things do come up, they have to be taken care of, and to address them by making plans to put money aside for them for the future is really a good method of dealing with maintenance and upkeep on our buildings. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yes, and we've had a 10-year plan since the second year I think I started, but we didn't really have any money to pay for it. We had a plan, but we didn't know how we were going to pay for it.
Yeah, it was nice of the state to pass this and add the additional
It was huge.
matching or whatever, the $8.
Great strategy.
Yeah,
Any other
I get
questions?
questions all the time about paying for maintenance stuff, and, basically it comes out of the same pot of money as everything else. But now that they have this long-term maintenance, you can do much better planning for those big things.
Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to consider the resolution to approve the 10-year facilities maintenance plan.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas the district is required to have a board-approved 10-year facilities maintenance plan to access long-term facilities maintenance revenue under Minnesota statutes, whereas the district wants to levy funds for the 2018 levy, and a 10-year plan was presented to the board by district staff. Now therefore be it resolved by the New Prague Area School Board of Education that the 10-year plan is approved as presented by district staff on July 11th, 2016. How do you vote on this, Jerry?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Kitten?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Don? Dennis, yes. Item passes.
Thank you.
Next, we have the grants from the Education Foundation, which we technically don't have to approve since they're below $1,000, but we've taken to going over them and accepting them at our meeting. The only one for this month is at Raven Stream, and it's the life cycle of baby chicks, $265. I could just have a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second?
Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Final action item, MDE recertification of identified official with authority.
Yeah, we are required by MDE every year to appoint the person in the district that can grant access and restrict access to various MDE systems. And that person has been Mr. Dittberner, and we would anticipate that it stays Mr. Dittberner.
I'll make a motion to approve the recertification of the identified official with authority.
I'll second the motion.
We need to state Mr. Dittberner's name with the motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Dittbrenner as our recertification authority official.
And I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
You're afraid we're going to give the job to somebody else.
Yeah, never know.
Now we're going to have another special presentation for the trap shooting team, who are also state champions.
Wait till everybody gets in here.
Or you get a picture of this group.
Well, it's with great pleasure. I'm here to recognize the 2016 Minnesota State High School Clay Target Champion from the state of Minnesota. The Clay Target team here at New Prague. Coach Paul Dietz, I still remember back when Paul and I met in my office for the first time. It had to have been 2009 for the first time. Actually got things, Paul deserves a lot of credit. He did a lot of research. He visited with numerous programs around the area that had already started a program. And I think the first year he said was 2011. It was actually founded in 2010. But the first year of competition was actually 2011. We had 13 competitors, and this year we had 73. And the other good thing is that because of New Prague's Clay Target program, last year our numbers were in the 90s. But because of that, Tri-City United was able to form their own, and they took their 20 kids, and now they have their own program, and it's because of the efforts of Paul and all his assistant coaches that now we should take pride in the fact that there's 2 programs because of New Prague's program. So, you know, with that, I think Paul is the one that can answer most of the questions. I do want to say that this is the 12th state championship for New Prague. And they will be honored by putting it on the board as you come into town. The reason being that they are sanctioned by the State High School League. And we're also going to go ahead and purchase a banner, just like all the other State High School League programs that we have at New Prague, and we're going to put it in the main gym where we can list their accomplishments there as well. So with that, I'm going to have Coach Paul Dietz come up and talk about the season.
There it is. That's one of them. Well, thank you all for your time tonight, and thank you, Brad, for your kind words. But there's a lot of people that have supported me throughout the years that has made this happen as well. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of our team this year. The team works hard. Every athlete of the 73 works very hard. We started in March practicing. 17 of the 73 athletes were female. Over the season, we shot over 100,000 shells without injury.
Positive.
The team started with an average of approximately 15 hits out of 25. And at the end of the season, we ended with an average of 19.5. What's important to think about, though, is we had 6th graders on the team because the Minnesota State High School Clay Target League allows 6th graders. And we had 3 6th graders that, you know, all the way from 6th through 12th is included in that average. And they just accomplished a lot this year. The team behind me in the state championship averaged 24 out of 25. So another thing I wanted to do tonight is introduce to you the team that earned this trophy. This trophy was earned by the entire 73. We were the Class 8A state champs as well, and that was earned by the whole team. So first of all, Isaac, you want to stand so they know who I'm talking about? This is the 2nd season for Isaac. He earned a letter this year, and he was, in the first 2 weeks, he averaged 16.5. He worked very hard this season, and at the 2 championships, between the 2 championships, his average was 23.75. So that was like an increase of over 7 targets per 25. So excellent season for Isaac. This was his first year that he shot a perfect 25, with many more to come. He's a sophomore. Parker is another sophomore on the team. This is Parker's 4th season with the team. He also earned a letter all 4 years that he's been on the team. And in the first 2 weeks, he averaged a 20.25. He worked hard throughout the season, and in the 2 championships, he averaged a 24.125. And this year was his first year that he shot a perfect score out of 50 out of 50. Woodrow Glazer is a freshman on the team. This is his 2nd year. He's had an outstanding 2 years, a huge contributor for the team. His first 2 weeks, he averaged 23.25. And at the championship, his average was 24.625. This year, he shot a perfect 100 for the season, the first time this season, which was a huge, big deal to him. And he's had many more since then. Jordan Stocker is a senior on the team. He wasn't able to make it today, but he's been on the team for 5 seasons, and he's earned a letter each year. His first 2 weeks, he had an average of 23, and at the championship, he had an average of 24.25. And he shot a personal best out of 50 at both the class championship and at the state championship. We had 2 alternates at the MSHSL state tournament. They were Tyler and Courtney. Tyler Beasley. So Tyler is a senior. This is his 3rd year on the team. He earned a letter all 3 years, and he started this year with a season average of 18.75, and he improved, had many personal bests, improved, and shot an average of 23.75 up at the Class 8A state championship. This was his first year to shoot a perfect 25, and he's done that now more than once. And Tyler has a special part on the team. If you know Tyler, he is our team comic relief. At the state championship, they shot 50 rounds, and then they had to break for about 2 hours. And that builds up the nerves with a lot of kids, and Tyler helped diffuse that.
You do cheers?
What's that? He's known as our team member of the Remington 870 Club. And he's proud of that. And Courtney Novak, this is her first year on the team. She's a senior. I wish we would have had her for more seasons. She's had a phenomenal year of improvement. She started the season with a 17.75 average and improved it to a 22.75. She was the 6th highest female shooting at the Class 8A tournament, and she just had a great season. And finally, Ben Dietz. Ben is a senior on the team. He was a founder, and he's lettered each year. Son, I'm proud of him. First 2 weeks, he averaged 22.5, and at the championships, he shot a 24.625. This year, he shot a perfect score of 100 by 100 at the class championship. There was only one other athlete that shot a perfect 100 out of approximately 7,000 athletes, if that gives you an idea of that accomplishment. 3 years ago, he shot a 99 out of 100. And I think it was the second to last bird, third to last bird, no? 93rd bird that he dropped, so that has been in the back of his head, and he perfected that. So that was a great way to end the season and a career for New Prague. These are your New Prague Trojans that earned the trophy for the school.
I'd like to thank you for all the hard work you've done getting this going and the dedication to have this many kids involved in the sport. It's great.
Yeah, you're welcome. And besides the coaches that have been very instrumental in the success of the team, I mean, the community has really been behind our team. This past season, to give you an idea, the cost for the team this past season was over $50,000. And we had fundraising where we raised more than $40,000 in fundraising to support that team, or the team. So the community has really come behind the team as well, and you know, there isn't enough thanks to be said.
Well, I just want to say, I mean, thank you for your positive leadership. Neat about the number of participants is phenomenal, and then the excellence. Like I said, like Brad said, I mean, first thing, I got news down in Iowa. I was down in Iowa during your state tournament there, and you know, read it in the paper, and I was just first thing I came back and said to Brad and Lonnie, we got another team on the sign, and it's a high school sponsor, and not to downplay the other championship, but I just think it's awesome. Great start here, and it's going to be a great tradition here, and it's the fastest growing sport there is in the state right now.
Right. Yeah,
And,
that's true.
And it's going nationwide now too.
Is there a way for seniors to continue on participating, or once they graduate, is it over? Can they go do some in college or competitions?
There is a way, and for those that want to compete individually, they can compete through other organizations as individuals during the summertime, but the collegiate side is now starting to expand, and actually Ben's going to be going to a college and shooting. He received a scholarship to shoot.
Where at?
Doane College in Nebraska.
Sure.
Yep.
Just by there.
Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah, there are opportunities. Many of the universities and colleges have club programs, but there are a few that have it's part of their athletic program.
Well, I know I've got a college get-together this weekend, and every year we get together, we've been doing very well in our sports programs, and they read about it, and I know I'm going to hear about, the clay target shooting championship, along with another golfer winning the state title 4 in a row. So we're extremely proud of you, and again, thank you for all you've done, your leadership, your athletes, parents for their support. And I just think it's a great thing. So what we'd like you to do now, we're going to take a picture in a second. Come on the inside. If you guys come on the inside here and shake all our board members' hand. And then we got a little something for you, too.
Congratulations.
Yeah, they are cool shirts. Congratulations.
How many of you, how many, there were 17, is it, of you?
Congratulations, you're a senior, right?
Coach, you better get in
Get the board members standing behind them.
Board members.
Board members standing up and behind them, so.
Let's see.
Tyler, now'd be a good time to say something. Now'd be a good time to say something.
We'd have to stand on our chairs.
Yeah. I can see everybody except for Sherry. You got to move to your left just a little bit, Sherry.
Left.
Yeah,
You're on
there
the
we go.
left.
Now I can see
You
everybody.
have to just look through the.
Now Jean's hiding. There we go.
Got everyone?
Now I got everybody.
Here, I'll get it to him.
What is that? Here, Tyler gets to. Harry, a little more to your left again, please.
Oh, here.
All right. Perfect.
Okay, I get a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.